Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited today to be sitting here with a dynamic independent school Catholic leader, Holly Elkins, who's president of Presentation High School in San Jose, California. I've had the pleasure of working with Holly now. This is our second school working together. Holly, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, hi, Jonathan. Thanks so much for inviting me to sit down and talk with you today. I'm really excited to be here, especially in the midst of Women's History Month.
Wonderful. I love that. I love it. And you can talk a little bit about your all-girls school as we chat a little bit here. So Holly, tell us a little bit, is president of a school, which we know is not an easy job in the best of times, and these are challenging times in the world right now. What do you need to consider when leading during these difficult times, such as COVID-19?
Well, thanks for asking that question, Jonathan. And I've been reflecting on this quite a bit. And I just want to begin by saying to all of my fellow heads out there, this is a completely uncharted time for us. We had no idea what we were getting into. No one could have foreseen this, and very few of us would have ever signed up for it, right? So I just want to begin by giving everybody some grace in this. And what I'm sharing today and talking about today is a reflection really on what I've learned and what we're still working on, right? This is very much a work in progress. And so for me, I was thinking about this in terms of crisis leadership and what really matters the most. When I really think about leadership, for me, it's about an orchestration. And in a time like this, there is simply so much work to be done. One person could never do it. So for us, this has really been about bringing the team together, looking at the people that you have, listening to those around you, and figuring out how to bring them together and to orchestrate this work. So I think it's really about orchestration. And then once you've got the right people together, then we want to get to this point of flow, because again, there's so much that's happening. And so how do we do that? And that for us has really been about getting everybody aligned. And there's a process in that. For us, it was really looking at where we were in terms of our values and our mission. And we had to be aligned there. And we had to hold that right in the center of all the work that we were doing, so that we could continue to be able to make a lot of really quick dynamic decisions. But again, from that core agreement of what we know to be who we are. And then the other part of this, I think, is realizing that in all of this work, we are role models. And as school leaders, we're role models for our students and for the community. And so in each of the decisions that we're making, we need to hold ourselves accountable, again, to the mission and the values, but then we've got to give ourselves some grace, and we have to remember that we've got to be flexible. We're going to do the best we can with the information that we have, and we're going to continue to make decisions and go forward. And if we have to be flexible and adjust, we're going to do that, and we're going to explain why. And for us, again, I think those were some big parts of this process. But at the end of the day, it's got to be about our students. And in times of crisis, there's so much coming at us, and so many factors that we're considering. And so again, being centered on our students and realizing that, you know, the decisions we made last year about closing dramatically impacted our senior students. That was their one shot at a graduation. It was their one shot at their senior year. And so how do we make this the best for them in that moment? And of course, we've now been iterating on that throughout this year, and as we think about the future too. So we want to make sure that we're really taking care of our students. It's a lot, but it's been a joy.
Super. No, excellent, excellent advice. So talk a little bit about, for a minute here, if you had three specific tips for your fellow heads of school, presidents, division leaders, CFOs, that senior management team that makes that school really shine and work so well to educate our students. What would those three tips be?
I appreciate that too. Three things for me, I think, are realizing, again, you start with your core team, and then you've got to realize that you've got a community around you. We've got a board, we've got our faculty and staff, and we have our community. And each of us in our roles as leaders have inward facing responsibilities and external facing responsibilities. And so making sure that we, and right now, I would just say, I think in crisis, we're very focused on the internal because there's so many things that need to be taken care of. But you can easily get too far ahead of those others that you need to bring along with you. So making time to talk with the people who are being impacted by the decisions and helping them be a part of the decisions, weigh in on the work that's happening, is really important. Always a challenge in real time, but so important, I think. And then the next thing for me and for us at Presentation is really taking this opportunity to figure out, where are the opportunities in it? what are the calculated risks we can take? How can we make an investment today in a piece of technology that's going to be a long-term solution for us? It's going to open up doors for the future, right? And so, yes, it's going to solve the immediate need, but what can that do in the future? What other big things can you move forward in these times that will help serve the students today, but make lasting impact as we go forward? I think that's also really important. And then for me, the third thing is, while we rely on each other an incredible amount, we all have networks outside of our schools. And this is one of those times where we are universally experiencing this. And so the more that we can connect with each other and share lessons learned and opportunities and different experiences that we have, it helps make every school a better place. And so for me, I think that's really the three things that I would really focus on right now.
Well, wonderful. So Holly, we wish you the best of luck as you wrap up the academic year. Hopefully you'll get to take some relaxing family time this summer, and then it all begins again for next
Sure
year.
does, Jonathan. Thank you so much.
All
And
right.
to all my heads out there, good luck. Thank you so much.